What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. I'm Keith around everybody else. I hope everyone had a stellar weekend. Boy, has it been an absolute burner here on the home front. Yesterday, that's the second closest I've ever come to having a little heat exhaustion. Happened one other time way back in the day when I was coming out of an attic for a customer. And boy, I said I'll never do that again. And I did it again yesterday, and that was a mistake. But you get under pressure, you start trying to push, get things done. I did manage to get everything done. But boy, I really felt that shit afterwards. And it wasn't any better today. We've had, I don't even know how many days in a row over 90 degrees here. And it's not like your typical 90 degrees, especially if you're out west. It's 90, 95, 100 plus 80% plus humidity. It's straight up jungle weather, and it's awful. Nonetheless, we're here. I hope you're happy with everything that's going on. I know we wish things would change for the green. Maybe we get a chance at it. Got some charts for you to see. Let's talk about them, shall we? Welcome to Crypto and Charts After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. It's free. Costs absolutely nothing to hit the like button. Zero dinero. While you're there, subscribe. And Google tells me that half you guys who watch aren't even subscribed. Why not? It's free dollars. Hit the notification bell while you're there so you don't miss anything. We do these live streams constantly. I often post little videos too. I've got a ton of instructional videos in case you guys don't know. And you're wondering, well, how do I learn this stuff? I don't understand. How about a list of everything that I've got right here, all together for you? I'll put it in the chat right now. This is how I do everything that you'll see on this channel. It is, wrong button. Reverse. Paste. Bam. It is now in the chat over there in YouTube. They're in order already for you. All you got to do is start going down the list. Boom, 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 boom. One at a time. Knocking them out. Basic stuff. You start simple. Work your way up. We do this because we want everybody to learn how this stuff works. We want everybody to do it together. We want guys to make as much as money as possible. We want everyone to know that there's a better way to do this than just throwing money and hodling. It's never been the way to do it. Little by little, we're breaking through to people, and I hope that continues. So first things first, we'll crack through Bitcoin here. All right, timestamping it. So I was a little tickled to see that it broke the 821 EMA and the 50 moving average just 2 days ago. All right, right there. Monday was actually 1 day ago. Monday broke through the 58 and 21 EMA all at one time. And then yesterday, the day we just had that just closed at 8 p.m., good, decent candle over top of the 821 and 50. That gives us two candles over the 8 EMA. That gives us two candles over the 50 EMA. That gives us an 821 EMA cross upwards. That is all three things that we're looking for. Excellent. Now, what can you do with it? Glad to see some action finally show up on the charts. And this thing finally went the other direction. Here's the negatives. She still hasn't broken out of the zone. Still in this sideways trading parallel zone here. And you haven't really seen anything other than more of the same to say that it's going to get stuck in this zone. Here's some more bad news. It's still a lower high. Got to break loose. It just hasn't done it yet. It came really, really close yesterday, and it stopped right at the goal line. You are over the pivot, and you did bounce the pivot point very well. Ichimoku cloud, you did break through the Ichimoku cloud. You do have a green cloud on the end. Your baseline is over the conversion line. We need that to flip the other way. We need that blue to be over the red. And then our lag line is just barely over the candles back here. So we've got 3 out of the 4 things we need to be bullish for Bitcoin daily here. We're just waiting on the conversion and baseline to flip. It looks like this thing's going to settle on top of the cloud here, which would be cool. If it falls back into the cloud, back down here towards 64, it could very well do that. I'm happy with either one of those. That could signal a move up for altcoins and others. We'll get into that in a second. First, let's scroll out to the weekly here. Here's Bitcoin Weekly. And what I've been talking about constantly has been this thing playing back and forth with the 200 moving average, which is this red line you see right through here. And then you have the weekly AEMA, which is combined in the same area of it, calling that an area of confluence. Those are both acting as a heavy speed bump. Thing can't have a hard, it can't get over it easily. Getting its head stuck in the vise, so to speak, continues to bump its head and not quite break loose. Now, is that the end of the world? No. Is it a good thing? No. We need to see some price action. If it can get through that 200 moving average on the weekly, the red line, and it can get through the weekly AEMA, it's going to be tough. Then we can attempt to break through the top of this zone. It just hasn't done it yet, right? Is it gonna? I'm a bit of a pessimist on this stuff. I think she's got sideways and down left in her till we get more closer to the end of the year. Baby steps, little by little. Not much has changed. I'm not completely fooled by the ping pong back and forth here. That's doing a lot of nothing. I need to see some more proof. Break through the top of the zone, create a short-term higher low and higher high, and I'll be down to talk about it more. But until then, I'm stuck waiting for something good to happen. It started decent here. Now prove it. Make a push. Don't let that 100 moving average right there at the top of that range be a heavy speed bump. Now that I said that, it'll be a heavy speed bump. You know what I mean? I don't want that. But it's fully possible. All right, let's get over to the thumbnail. XRP. I said, could XRP potentially have a move up? And the answer is yes. Been watching this very closely. This is what most people come to the channel to watch, regardless of whatever else I say. The Google algorithm spits people back up to XRP stuff. It just is what it is. So I have to cater to that. Good news. It appears that we may have broken out of that very, very ugly downtrend that you see right there. It looks like that might be a breakout. Here's the problem. You've got the AEMA capturing this thing and not letting it loose. Now, I will say this is a sign that we're getting some buy pressure in here. You've had good green candles, but you're following up with bearish every single time, bearish engulfings. We did get a bit of a tail on several candles here. All right, you can see those wicks form up right there. That's buy pressure. And then the candle that closed the day was a fairly good candle for a bottom formation. It's got to come up out of the weeds, though. It can't just keep doing this. Here's where the confluence starts, right? This MACD is just about to cross into the correct order, which is blue over orange. You are falling off on your sell volume, so it's having a hard time maintaining sales, at least more on top of more, slowly falling off. RSI continues to be nominal, but if you're a gambling man, you could argue that even that might have broken out and may have a small amount bullish convergence here. Pivot points, you did hold on to S2 at 98 cents, back to $1 now, 0.997. Still got a cap toward $1.02 and then up here at $1.08. None of that'll be easy to get through. Here's your Ichimoku cloud. It's still a clean 4 out of 4.0. Green cloud on the end. Nope, it's red. Lag line. Is it over the candles or under? It's very much under. Is the conversion line over the baseline? No, it is not. The baseline red line is over the blue line. Can't have that. And is the price over the cloud or under the cloud? It's very much under. That won't get it. That's 4 out of 4. No, sorry. Not quite as good as some of the others. Now, does that mean this thing can't change over and do better? No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, I think there's a possibility with this weekly chart we see right here that this thing tries to find a short-term bottom here to at least try to crawl its way out of the mud a little bit. As I've spoken about before, we are right about the same time in the bear market where it's made a move before, even if it's just a bearish short-term upward move that ends up being another low later. You still see some of the price action that has happened in very, very similar time frames to where we're at right now. It's August 27th, August 18th. That's pretty darn close. But you see that move that happened up shortly after. That was in the middle of the bear market. You see this move that happened shortly after. That was in the middle of the bear market. Same date code, 4 years and 8 years ago. So, is it possible? Yeah, it is. Is it probable that we have this big, massive move up? No, but it is possible. And it is likely that we have some sort of relief bounce here, even if it's short term. I've waited for this move to make its way back up here to the trend line and at least back test this trend line. I don't necessarily think it'll get that high now. If you look, the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA have both cut through that 200 moving average now. All of this area right through here is going to be hell to get through. That leads me to think it's going to take a long time for this thing to pull itself up out of the mud. A sharp move here would help get us back on track, but all through here is not going to be easy to get through. And I do think we see these lines continue to get played with even as we start up the next year. I don't see anything major changing here. A short-term move up would help me solidify the timeline a little bit better on what things are doing. It is not 100% foolproof. It just helps us read the map of what's going on in the future. Baby steps. I think we might have a short-term move coming up here. Be ready to take your profits, because I know you people don't like to hear that. But if you don't take your profits, someone else will, and you'll just be stuck holding the bag. That went better than I thought it would. So we're going to go through a bunch more here in a second. I'm going to hit SpaceX next. Timestamp. All right, so here's SpaceX, and then after this one, we're going to go through a whole bunch of coins inside of the top 100 assets in crypto, minus stable coins, trust funds, index funds, and duplicate coins. And I'll explain that as we go. And the hiccups are coming back. Today, I was able to eat food and not have it come back up as I had yesterday. It was tough, dude. Heat exhaustion's wild, bro. So anyway, SpaceX, as predicted here, continues to play ball with the $150 range and will not break easily. This is the only resistance on the chart. That's why I have drawn this green box right here. And as such, let me make it red just so people understand this is a resistance box. That's better. That was a support box. This is a resistance box. And it will maintain that for the foreseeable future here. It can obviously break through. Prove it. Hasn't done it yet. Until it does, I'm to expect head bump, head bump, head bump, fail, fail, fail. Pulling some fibs on it here. Like so. You can see she's still trying to hold the 382 fib and doing fairly well so far. He had a really good day. Oh, goodness, the coughs. Itchy chest. He had a really good day on Monday. I thought it was going to make a break here and try to get through. It closed an equal high. Not quite good enough for a new higher high, which would have pushed us up a little bit more, but it's better than nothing, and I'll take it. Got to get up to this $150 range to really get on top of 153. If you can get up above this range and sit up here, you set yourself up really good for the future. Coming back up to this level and not getting it through, oh boy, that could set up to be disastrous. And here's what I mean. Let's say we've already hit the line here and not going to get up through that 50 fib. Let's be hypothetical. Let's say this thing went up to the 50 fib, which is a continuation fib. We were in a downtrend. Let me draw that. I'm going to cough again. It's crazy. There's our downtrend. We were in a downtrend. We broke that downtrend, but we didn't get back up and over the 50 fib. So that means we could continue going down. If that happens, And we are going to continue going down more. We'll grab the bottom down here and we'll pull to this little short-term high. I'm going to pull it over here just so we got room to see it. But our place on the way back down for failure would be failing 138. Fail 138 and you're heading back down toward the 130 range. Then you have 125 down there at the 50 fib back in that direction. So you could get a move like this that comes up and comes back to the 50 fib. And then, hey, that's the continuation for this little short-term uptrend. If it can hold that line, we got a chance to come back up. If not, can't hold that 50 fib, then you're back down to the golden pocket. Better hold that golden pocket, because if you don't, this is all the support we have down here. If it doesn't hold on right there, watch out. It could get ugly. And those numbers down there reflect what ugly would look like. Now, that's not a guarantee. I need to see 150 either break or 138 fail. Those two numbers are important. Whichever one happens first, well, that tells us the direction we're going in. I'm pulling for SpaceX. I want to see it do well. I like watching the launches. I think they're super cool. I really thought it was neat watching them unload the satellites and stuff in space. That was insane to me. Like the fact that it's just insane to think the things that we can do. And to see people get against it and be haters is crazy to me. It just shows you the lack of, I don't even know the right word, of people that you can't seem to get it through their head of what amazing things we could do if we put our minds to it. So eyes on SpaceX. I'm always watching it. Been watching it since launch. I'm not going to stop now. Cool. So let's get through the top 100 stuff. So I've already done those. Let me do ETH here. And then we'll do BNB, Solana, TRX, and Hype. And then we'll work through those, right? 26.55 for Ethereum. Perfect. So Ethereum also had a good day the other day. Looks a lot like Bitcoin, though, only a little better. Over the 50 moving average, the 100 moving average, and the 821 EMA. Excellent. You had a good day just like Bitcoin did, where it shot up over the 821 and 50 all at the same time. Very good. You know what that means? Get all three yay buttons. Here's the weekly, trying its best to hang on to that weekly 8 EMA. Can you break loose and get to that 21 EMA? Potentially make a move here. We're waiting. Here's the monthly, big aggressive bounce off that 100 moving average, heading back toward the 8. Going to hold on to the monthly 100. Really like to see it. Am I convinced? No, especially if Bitcoin drags everything down, and it very well could. It's worth noting Bitcoin dominance here real quick. And I didn't make a space for this, but let's do it real fast. Dominance. Bitcoin dominance is breaking out. Goodness, man. Is breaking out of the trend line here and trying to get over these moving averages. If Bitcoin dominance goes up, while Bitcoin price goes down, that means everything comes down with it. That means Bitcoin has power over the market, and that power is pulling it down. Just the opposite way. If Bitcoin goes up and dominance goes up, that means most of the money's flowing into Bitcoin, and others will likely follow. Better keep your eyes on it, because I'm saying again, stuck in a rut here doesn't mean we're going anywhere too fast. I need to see some proof. I need to see breakout. I need to see these things get going, and I'm happy that Ethereum is doing a little better. Got a good tits move under here with the 50 and the 100 moving average crossing. And you have some confluence with your other indicators, right? Your MACD's over the midline, unlike some others that we've seen. And your RSI is much higher, bouncing off the midline. I like that. Keep the momentum here, Ethereum. Let's see you stick with it. BNB. There's no way we're getting through all these, but it's worth talking about them. BNB. So, over the 100 moving average, nice. Over the 8 EMA, but then failed the 8 EMA. But I want you to notice this car wreck of moving averages and exponential moving averages all flowing toward the same area here. Look at the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are pointing to this area too. I think we're due to see some stuff go sideways. This is a layup on what might happen here. Look at that. I mean, they're just all kind of pointing in the same direction here. I hate to think we're going to get any massive upward push on price with moving averages looking like that. I do think that we're going to get some sort of back test or retest of lines or something like that right through here that'll give us some more sort of guidance on what's coming. I've said it before, and I think there needs to be some September relief here. We've gotten brutalized in the market. Most things have taken massive beatings. And as such, I'd like to see some relief. Binance Coin did really, really well this bull market. And as far as it's worth, the bear market hasn't been too terrible to it. It's only just down to the 50 fib between the 50 and the 382. It could still go down to 527 and still be all right here. You don't want to see it fall any farther than 420. Anything farther than 420, you're getting in the weeds. It is technically a lower high on the higher time frames. So as good as it feels that this thing's done better, be careful. Solana, 31. Double O. So Solana had a really good day too. Look at that. She jumped over that 50 and 100 and 821 EMA all at the same time. Very cool. Weekly wise, over the 8 EMA, nice. Now hold on to it and don't give it up again. I like the fact that this thing is holding on to that 50 fib on the weekly. Boy, you love technical analysis and seeing it work. Data analytics doesn't fail like people's feelings does. Data analytics is not perfect, but data analytics gets you closer than just feeling almost every single time. It's hard to explain. That's why I made a whole series of videos for you. It's over there in the chat, but it works, right? You can do what I do. I'm just a guy on the internet. If you don't think I'm doing it right or you think I'm doing something wrong, pull up some charts and let's talk about it. That's the beauty of what we do here. It's not the Keith rules and Keith's show. That's not how we do it. We keep it real. We keep it to ourselves. I like the holding the 50 fib. I like it trying to take the weekly the 8 EMA. I like the fact that the daily jumped the moving averages like it did. That's awesome. Now let's keep the momentum up here. Ichimoku Cloud. Red on the end. That's not going to work. Conversion lines over the baseline. That's good. You're not quite price over the cloud yet. Close. And lag line is over the candles. So you've got 2 out of 4 and 3 out of 4 about to happen. The problem is the cloud on the end being 4 out of 4. Progress is good here for Solana. It is a breakout. It is a short-term uptrend. That is a new high. Looks better than some others. TRX. 32. 55. All right. So TRX continues to hold on to its short-term uptrend here. Doesn't want to give up without a fight. Problem, it's run head first into the 100 moving average. And that 100 moving average is slowly squeezing this thing into an anaconda choke. And won't really let it go. Still over the 821 EMA. That's cool, but you're stuck. You got to get over the hump. Again, Tron and BNB were 2 of the #1 coins that printed while everything else did bad. It is over the weekly 8 EMA with an 821 cross upwards, still holding strong. And you got 2 closes over the 8 EMA if it can hold on here for the weekly. Really, really impressive considering how bad all the other ones look. Can it keep holding on? If so, you might not have as bad a bear market for TRX. Or is it going to cut loose all of a sudden and just absolutely rip the soul out of you? I tend to be more pessimistic. I expect some failures here. Let's see if it can get to that 100 moving average because that's going to be the key. If it doesn't, then she's going to reject back down to this trend line. That'll put it underneath on the weekly as well. Slow things down a little bit, and there's still a solid potential that you see this thing roll over. And it means listen, I'm hoping things get better, but I'm just not seeing massive screaming go signs. Small signs, but not massive screaming go signs. You know what I mean? About time to hang up the shorts for the winter. Won't be long now. See, Terry sees. Terry gets it. Hype. 34, 37. All right, so Hype almost got back through those moving averages, but so far all it's done is back test that 50 and 100 moving average. Didn't quite get through as good as it wanted to. As far as the weekly 821 EMA, like TRX, trying to get through that weekly 8 EMA. Are you going to be able to handle it on the daily? If you can get through these mess on the daily, well, your weekly is going to look better. But the problem is, how long can that little short-term uptrend right there hold? So far, it's held. Be careful. Overall, you're still making a lower high. You can see that. There's our previous highs, and here's our new high, way down lower. There is a case to make that it's doing all right. There is a case to make that it's doing not so good. Here's the cloud. It's 4 out of 4 no on the cloud. Here's the MACD. Not bad. You curled up and you're heading toward the midline. You are losing a little bit of buy volume here, but some of these look way worse than this one. Here's your RSI trending up. It's very mixed results. And when I have mixed results, I like to wait and see it come true. If it can't come true, well, I'll just step back, do my hands back like this and say, Jesus, take the wheel. On this one, I'm going to wait on it. Wow, I was coughing so much. It's annoying, dude. Couple more here. Ones we haven't talked about much on here. Here is rain. And I know it sounds stupid that we're even talking about this one. But I cannot deny the fact that it shot up into the top 25. It did. Let's pull up moving averages first. She's trying her best to hold on to the 100 moving average and the 821 all at once. It's stuck underneath that 50 moving average, though. Can't quite break out. Here's the weekly. You're stuck in the wait a minute zone as well. It's underneath the 8 EMA, but it's over the 21 EMA. It is technically a high or low. This thing could very well push up and make another higher high and another higher low. Boy, wouldn't that sting the nostrils. It doesn't have to be the kind of coin you like. It doesn't really matter what we like. It matters what the market thinks. And this one's fighting its way back. Had a very good couple of days there in a row to get back over the 821 EMA. And it looks like it wants to bounce the 100 moving average again. If it does, 50 moving average up at 0138, 0137-ish makes sense. Really impressive. How about Dogecoin? 3730. All right, so here's the other side of the coin. Not much happened over here on the home front. 821 smashing it down eternally. Weekly, down in the pits of hell here. Look at the RSI on the weekly for Doge. Just doing nothing. Here's your MACD. Very similar story. It is on top. Blue over orange, good. But you're underneath the midline. You need to break the midline. You're not even close. And just look at the price action. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. I need way more proof than it's given me so far. We have seen signs that the market wants to get some regains here and maybe not make new highs, but at least try to poke through and get some more juice. Baby steps. Hasn't broken the 821 EMA or the 50 moving average, but I do expect at least it gives this thing a try at making something happen. Here's ZEC. This will probably be the last one we get to. 38, 35. I'll do 30. ZEC still stuck under the trend line, and here's when you really, really love to see technical analysis shine. Starting with the top of the trend to the next point of the trend to the next point of the trend, and again, bang, 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 bumping its head along the way and just hasn't broke loose yet. This is why I love technical analysis and data analytics. It just takes away the emotion and shows you what's really happening. It's stuck under the trend line. Now, on the other side of that, you have your moving averages and EMAs here, which are underneath the price, holding it up as support. After that very good Monday that it had the other day, she jumped up, hit the trend line, and stopped. But it did sneak over all those moving averages, which is pretty darn cool. You like to see the fight. Now, here's the problem. Here's the weekly. you can see that we're just stuck in low hill, and it hasn't really cracked through yet. Get over the 8 EMA, get over the trend line and prove it. If you don't, well, then we could see this thing run back to the weekly 21, which would be down there at 458. I seen the Winklevoss talking shit, saying that this was the new big coin and this is where all the money was going to flow in, and that immediately gave me pause. But it's not to bad talk anybody, just I don't believe a word those dudes say. And when it comes to multi-millionaires and billionaires, I'm hard pressed to just shut up and listen to what they got to say unless I see the books. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. They're right way more than they're wrong, but I need you to not fluff it, not BS, man. They love to fluff it. That was a quick 30 minutes. Thank everybody for coming and showing up. I appreciate it, fellas. We'll be back again Thursday. More charts, more data analytics, no BS, always facts, no feelings. I appreciate it, right? I'll have a little bit more energy on Thursday, I hope, because, man, the last 2 days have been really, really draining. Super hot, sweated so much. I lost like 5 pounds on Tuesday. On my Monday, I can't even remember what day it was. Yeah, I lost like 5 pounds. It was crazy, man. In one day, that's wild. Especially while you're trying to concentrate. That's the other point no one thinks about when you're trying to concentrate while you lose weight. That's tough. Nonetheless, we'll be back. I should be dead. I should be in jail. I'm not. I'm right here with you fellas. That's awesome, and it makes my day. I'm going to try to make the best of it. Thank you, guys. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Sky's the limit. Peace.